Scorpio, imagine a door sealed for an entire century, a gate hidden deep within the universe that no one has touched, no one has dared to open, because the timing was not right. Until now, until you. For 100 years, the cosmos has held back a message, like a sacred scroll wrapped in layers of silence, waiting for the exact moment when the energy of transformation and resilience would align with your sign. And here you are, standing at the threshold of that opening, feeling the echo of generations vibrating through your bones, wondering why this secret had to wait so long before finding you. The truth is, Scorpio, not every soul could carry the weight of what is about to be revealed. Not every spirit could withstand the intensity of this unveiling. But you, born under the sign of rebirth, destruction, and resurrection, were chosen precisely because of your unshakable ability to rise where others fall. This isn't just a message. It is a cosmic inheritance that has been gathering energy like a storm at the edge of the horizon. And tonight it breaks open for you alone. Think of it like a flame that has been hidden in a lantern, carried across deserts through storms, passed from hand to hand, century after century, until it finally arrives in yours. And in that moment, the silence of the universe is broken. Do you feel that pull in your chest? That sudden stirring of intuition, as if your spirit has been waiting lifetimes for this. It is not coincidence. It is the voice of destiny calling through the ages, and you cannot turn away from it. The universe is not whispering anymore. It is thundering, it is roaring, it is demanding your attention. Why now? Why you? Because the cycles of the cosmos have aligned in such a rare way that only once in 100 years does the veil part, and only those with the depth, the passion, and the courage of Scorpio can hold what is about to be revealed. This is not just the start of another chapter. It is the opening of an entirely new book, written with your name inscribed across the cover in the ink of the stars. And the first line is being spoken into your soul right now. Why does 100 years matter, Scorpio? Because in the language of the universe, a century is not measured in clocks or calendars, but in the breath of eternity, in the slow heartbeat of the cosmos itself. And when such a span completes, it marks the end of an old song and the beginning of a new symphony. 100 years is long enough for empires to rise and fall, for rivers to change their course, for generations to be born and pass away, and yet for the universe it is only a moment, a pause, a sacred interval between inhale and exhale. This is why it is so powerful, because what has been waiting for 100 years carries the weight of everything that has unfolded in that silence. Every unspoken prayer, every untold story, every hidden scar, every seed of hope that could not bloom until now. Imagine a comet that vanishes into the dark and only reappears once in a century, its light unseen by countless eyes. But when it does return, it carries with it the memory of the stars it has touched along its path. That is what is happening for you, Scorpio. You are that rare light, returning now at the perfect moment, carrying the imprints of past lives, ancestral echoes, and cosmic alignments that have been building toward this exact hour. This message could not have been given to you 10 years ago, not even 50 years ago, because the vibration of the world was not ready, because your spirit was still preparing, still learning, still breaking and healing, until you could finally hold it without shattering. The 100-year mark is not about time. It is about readiness, alignment, and divine orchestration. Just as the tides move with the pull of the moon, and the seasons shift with the turning of the earth, your life is now shifting because the universe has decided the cycle is complete. The waiting was not a punishment, but a sacred preparation, ensuring that when the message finally arrived, it would fall into the hands of the one soul who could translate it into transformation, not only for themselves, but for an entire community. And that soul is you, Scorpio, the chosen keeper of this century-old truth. And now, Scorpio, the hidden message awakens, like a voice rising after a century of silence, like a song that has been echoing faintly through the corridors of time, waiting for you to finally listen. For 100 years it has been sleeping, tucked away in the folds of the universe, guarded by shadows and whispered only to the stars, and now it unfurls inside your soul like a banner of light. This message is not written on paper, nor carved into stone. It is alive, breathing, pulsing through your veins, stirring the depths of your intuition. You may feel it as a sudden pull in your chest, a quickening of the heart, a dream that lingers too vividly to dismiss, or a thought that repeats until you cannot ignore it. That is the message making itself known, a cosmic code translated not by words but by feelings, visions and signs. It tells you that you have never been forgotten, that even in your darkest nights when you believed the universe had turned away, a hidden flame was still being kept for you. It reveals that you are not here by accident, that every trial, betrayal and heartbreak has been shaping you to be strong enough to carry this truth now. The message is simple yet infinite. You are chosen, not because of perfection, but because of your scars, because of your resilience, because you have already walked through fire and returned carrying wisdom others could not. Think of it as a seed that was planted a century ago by unseen hands, buried deep where no one could reach. And only now, under the rarest alignment of cosmic forces, does it sprout into the light. What you are feeling is not imagination. It is the awakening of that seed inside you. The universe has handed you the scroll, and though its words may not be spoken aloud, you will understand them in your bones, in your dreams, in the synchronicities that suddenly multiply around you. This is not a random message. It is a mirror of your destiny, a reminder of your power and an invitation to step into a life far greater than the one you've known. Scorpio, the transformation begins with you, because your very symbol is not just an animal but a myth, a living metaphor for death, rebirth, and the eternal cycle of becoming. The scorpion itself is feared because of its sting, yet few understand that its true gift lies in its ability to survive, to shed, to endure what others cannot. And you have lived that truth across lifetimes. This message arriving after 100 years is not only a prophecy, it is a summons for you to embrace your nature as the one who dies and rises again, not once, but countless times. You know what it feels like to lose everything, to watch a part of yourself crumble into dust, and yet, like a serpent shedding its skin, or a phoenix bursting into flame, you have returned stronger, sharper, and more luminous than before. That cycle is not a curse. It is your inheritance, your spiritual technology, the reason the universe waited for you. Every betrayal, every heartbreak, every collapse in your life was an initiation, a rehearsal for this moment when you would no longer simply survive but consciously transform, wielding the power that others fear but secretly admire. Imagine the scorpion at the edge of the desert, where nothing grows, yet it endures the burning sun and the freezing night, teaching us that strength is not loud but quiet, not in the roar but in the persistence of breath. This is what you carry, Scorpio, the endurance of 100 years of silence, the patience to hold pain until it can turn into wisdom. And now this transformation is not just personal, it is generational, karmic, ancestral. You are breaking patterns that were passed down like chains, dissolving shadows that haunted not only your story but your family's, your lineages, your souls. The sting you once carried as pain is now alchemized into medicine, and the venom that others feared becomes the very antidote for your own rebirth. The universe chose you because you embody this mystery, the one who walks through death and emerges more alive than ever. This transformation is not the end. It is the unveiling of who you were always meant to be. Scorpio, as powerful as your transformation is, You must remember one truth the universe insists upon. You are not alone in this awakening. For 100 years, this message has not only been carried to you, but also woven through the threads of a greater tapestry, connecting every Scorpio who has walked this earth, every ancestor whose blood runs in your veins, every soul who carries the same vibration of rebirth and resilience. You may have often felt isolated, misunderstood, as if your path were too heavy for others to comprehend. Yet this is the moment when the cosmic silence breaks, not just for you, but for all those who share your sign, your energy, your frequency. Imagine sparks scattered across the night sky, each burning alone, flickering against the dark, and then suddenly those sparks begin to move together, merging, fusing, becoming a single torch blazing against the void. That is what is happening now. Your light, though strong on its own, becomes unstoppable when joined with others. The message delivered after a century is not only an invitation to personal transformation, but to collective healing, to the recognition that what you heal in yourself ripples into the hearts of others who carry the Scorpio soul. You are part of a cosmic family, a tribe bound not by geography but by destiny, and the universe is aligning all of you to rise at the same time, to break the silence together. This is why you may notice synchronicities, meeting fellow Scorpios, feeling drawn to communities, sensing a pull to share your story, your struggles, your triumphs. Because your healing becomes their healing, your courage becomes their courage, your awakening becomes a mirror for them to awaken as well. Do not underestimate the power of connection, Scorpio. The same venom that once marked you as dangerous becomes the medicine that others seek. In your willingness to share, to open, to connect, you help build a fire large enough to guide not only Scorpios, but anyone searching in the dark. And in that fire you will finally see, you were never alone and you never will be again. Scorpio, the prophecy now unfolds, and with it comes a shift so profound it will touch every part of your life. Your heart, your mind, your body, your spirit. What happens now is not random. It is the blooming of seeds planted long ago, watered by unseen hands, finally breaking the soil of your destiny. You may feel the changes stirring already, like the air thickening before a storm, like a field cracking open after a long drought as the first drops of rain descend. In the realm of your finances, opportunities will appear where once there were only closed doors. But these opportunities will not come as sudden windfalls. They will come as tests of trust, as choices that require you to step into courage rather than fear. In love, truths hidden for years will surface, clearing the fog from your relationships, showing you who was meant to walk beside you and who was merely a shadow passing through your story. Spiritually, your intuition will intensify. Dreams will become more vivid. Numbers and synchronicities will multiply, and you will feel an undeniable pull toward the mystical, as though the veil between worlds has thinned and whispers reach you from beyond. Even your health and energy may shift, as your body aligns with this century-old current, releasing heaviness that has been stored like locked stones in your muscles and bones. Do not resist these changes, Scorpio, for they are not here to break you but to liberate you, to unbind what has been shackled for generations. The prophecy promised that after 100 years, those who carried the sting of silence would be given the song of transformation, and you are living that now. Signs will come. Feathers on your path, coins where you least expect them, sudden chills when nothing moves, dreams of water, fire, or flight, each one reminding you that the message is alive, guiding you, shaping you. This is the prophecy made flesh, your life, finally aligned with the rhythm of the cosmos, a destiny no longer postponed but awakened, roaring into being. Scorpio, healing through this message is not a gentle process of forgetting, but a sacred act of remembering, of gathering the broken pieces of yourself and realizing they were never broken at all. They were fragments of a mosaic waiting to be assembled into something greater. The universe did not wait 100 years to give you comfort alone. It waited to hand you a key that unlocks the pain you have carried like a secret wound, turning it into the very source of your strength. Think of your life as a desert, cracked and dry from years of holding on to betrayals, fears and disappointments. And now imagine a hidden spring bubbling to the surface, cool and clear, flowing through the wasteland until flowers begin to rise where only dust once lay. That is the healing energy of this message. It does not erase your past, it transforms it. It waters the barren soil of your soul so new life can grow. You may notice emotions resurfacing, old memories coming back, or even tears falling without reason. Do not resist them, for they are the rivers of release, carrying away the heaviness that was never meant to stay. This is the time to lay down burdens that do not belong to you. Fears inherited from parents, grandparents, and ancestors who lived in survival but could not reach freedom. The universe has chosen you to break that chain, to end the cycle of silence, to take the venom that once poisoned your heart and refine it into medicine. Every time you forgive, every time you let go, every time you choose love over fear, you are rewriting not only your story, but the story of those who came before and those who will come after. Healing through this message means you are no longer defined by wounds, but by the wisdom they birthed. You are no longer the desert. You are the oasis, the proof that even after a century of waiting, life always finds a way to return. And you, Scorpio, are the vessel through which that miracle now flows. Scorpio, do you ever wonder why it had to be you? Why the universe held this message for 100 years only to place it in your hands? The answer lies in the very fabric of who you are, for no other sign understands the depths of shadow and the heights of light the way you do. Divine alignment is not about chance. It is about readiness, about the soul forged in fire until it becomes unbreakable, about the heart that has bled yet still beats with courage. You were chosen because you have walked through the darkest valleys, carrying secrets no one else could bear. And still you rose, still you transformed, still you dared to love even when life gave you every reason to close. The universe does not entrust such messages to the untested. It entrusts them to warriors of the spirit, and you are one. Imagine a sword tempered in flame, struck again and again on the anvil until its edge is sharp enough to cut through illusion. That is you, Scorpio, the blade of truth born from trial. Your pain was not meaningless. It was preparation, shaping you into the vessel that could hold this century-old revelation without crumbling. Divine alignment means that your story is part of something larger than yourself, that your wounds were not random but timed, measured, designed so that when this moment arrived, you would be able to carry not only your healing but the healing of others. You were chosen because your intuition is a compass, your resilience a shield, your transformation a map for those still lost. This alignment is proof that nothing in your journey has been wasted, that every detour, every heartbreak, every silence was weaving you closer to this point where you and the universe meet face to face. And now as you hold this message, you must remember, it was never just for you. It was meant to flow through you into the world, a torch passed from the unseen into your hands, not to be hidden, but to be lifted high so that others may find their way in the dark. Scorpio, the time for waiting has ended, and now the call to action is ringing louder than ever. You are being asked to step fully into your destiny, to stop doubting, to stop hiding, and to claim the life that has been written for you since before you were born. The universe did not hold this message for 100 years so that you could simply listen and move on. It was delivered so that you would rise, act, and embody the truth it carries. Imagine holding a key that has been forged in silence for generations, passed down unseen and now placed into your palm. The lock it fits is right before you, a door that leads into the future you have long dreamed of but feared to believe was possible. This is the moment to turn the key. The call is not for half measures. It is for courage, for bold steps, for choices that align with your higher self rather than your old fears. You will be asked to walk away from what no longer serves you, even if it feels comfortable, and to embrace the unknown even if it terrifies you. That is the price and the gift of transformation. The universe is saying, Scorpio, the world is ready for your light, but will you allow yourself to shine? You are not being asked to be perfect. You are being asked to be authentic, to stand in your scars and your wisdom, to lead by example, to show others that survival can become resurrection. Each action you take now is magnified. Each choice ripples further than you imagine, because this century-old current is carrying you. If you speak, your words will heal. If you create, your work will inspire. If you forgive, your release will free generations. This is your invitation to step into a role you may not feel ready for, but which your soul has been preparing for lifetimes. Do not let fear silence you now. The universe waited too long, too carefully to place this power in your hands. Step forward, Scorpio. The path is open, and destiny is calling your name. Scorpio, as this message reaches its end, remember that what has been revealed here is not just a story told to pass the time. It is the breaking of a century of silence, the unveiling of a destiny long hidden, the universe leaning close to whisper what it waited 100 years to say. You are chosen. You are ready, and you are never alone. Let these words echo in your heart like the toll of a bell at midnight, reverberating through every corner of your being, reminding you that your scars are not shame, but sacred marks of survival. Your struggles are not failures, but stepping stones toward greatness. And your silence has always been pregnant with songs waiting to be sung. The 100 years of waiting are over, Scorpio, and now the torch has been placed in your hands. It is time to walk into the light that was always meant for you. Carry this flame with courage, and know that every step you take forward is guided by forces beyond sight, ancestors who cheer your every move, and a cosmos that bends its rhythm to support your awakening. As you close this video, do not close the message. Let it live in your choices, your prayers, your connections with others, your willingness to share your truth and inspire those who still wander in the dark. And now, if these words have stirred your soul, if this message has touched a hidden part of you, I invite you to share your heart below. Tell us what resonated. Claim your power. And let your community of Scorpios know that you, too, have heard the call. Like this video if it lit something within you. Share it with another Scorpio who needs to know they are not forgotten. And subscribe so you never miss the guidance that continues to flow through this sacred channel. Thank you for walking this journey with me, for opening your spirit to a message carried across a century just to reach you. May you rise into the life you were always meant to live. May your light burn brighter than ever. And may you remember, this was never random. This was destiny.